It's about 6:40, and somebody is in a bad mood again this morning. I'm not gonna say her name, but it rhymes with Fanny. Fanny. I hear you laughing at me.
It rhymes with Fanny.
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 I was gonna do my. Don't joke. It wasn't all that funny. Good grief. In case you can't hear, the kids are laughing at me. But I was gonna do my full makeup this morning, but I can't because I have to go brush Fanny's hair. So I just took Fanny and her sister to class. It's really always difficult when she's whimpering and whining, and I don't want to leave her there when she's upset, but she just has to get used to it, and that's part of what early education does. It allows the kid to get used to the classroom setting and the kids and the people, and it gets them used to a really, really good and sturdy routine. Now, I really don't know why she was upset, because she had a really good car ride on the way over, and she had a really good time going down the steps into the classroom. So it just wasn't until they put her in line to wash her hands she started to kind of whimper a little. But I think she'll be okay, and they will always call me if something's wrong. But I have to go get ready because my husband has an appointment, and I have to be dressed and ready for work when we go, because his appointment is at 10:30 and I have to leave for work at 11:30. So I don't know, I guess we'll see how that goes. They want to know if he's huffing paint, done speed.
Ecstasy, I make it in my bathtub.
Oh yeah.
It's blue.
You're full on Walter White. They want to know. He said, how many drinks does he have, like 5 or more drinks in one day over the past year? And I said, well, does caffeine count? Then they're asking if there's any illegal or any recreational substance in his history. And again, I'm saying, well, does caffeine count? Because, you know, caffeine is a drug, stimulant.
Stealing my kids' Ritalin.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's backside too.
I don't know, is there?
I think.
I would put like heavy caffeine usage all across the board.
Nicotine and caffeine. What's your blood type? Decaf.
Maxwell House.
Yeah, Folgers.
98.1. You okay?
No, you got that thing.
So, good news is he's not dying. Just kidding. Not yet anyway. I can probably change that at any time. Yeah. Everything looks good. His kidneys are good, which is absolutely freaking amazing. Cholesterol is a little elevated, but not by much. It's nothing we can't, you know, change with diet or exercise.
Guys, we pull into Arby's.
Are they giving you something for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving him something for his cholesterol, and they're going to give him something to protect his kidneys too. But all in all, everything looked really good, and they're giving him the liver medication as a precautionary thing. There's nothing wrong with his liver yet. Hi guys, it's Sunday morning. I had to skip yesterday because I was so tired from work, and I had some things to do after work anyway, so it just wasn't pretty feasible for me to get anything recorded. But it's Sunday now, and Annie is wide awake. I'm getting ready to make some pancakes. And yesterday I also picked up Jaina's birthday present. If you watched a couple of my vlogs beforehand, you might have an idea about what I got her. I'm not going to say it out loud here because she'll see it and then she'll know. I think she'll like it. It's a huge responsibility, and I can't wait to give it to her. Right now, I'm getting ready to start breakfast, and I have to work the long shift today. But I just wanted to give you an update about my husband's health really fast. I don't think a lot of people actually understand what diabetes can do. Not only the physical aspects, but also the mental stages. There's a lot of foggy brain, confusion. It's really hard to stay focused if your blood sugar is jacked up really high, or if it's really low. I notice if my blood sugar gets really low, I get confused and I get a headache, and I don't want to have to deal with anything at all. But my husband, lately, he's been doing so great on his medication. His insulin, the gabapentin he takes for the diabetic neuropathy, and his liver medication they issued him just as a kind of precaution. Now, I went to go pick up his prescription, and they gave him the wrong Lancet, so we have to go get that corrected. But he has enough to tide him over, so that won't be a problem. But he's been so clear lately. Like, his mind has been so clear. It's a completely different person. I mean, he's the same person as before, but there's a little more clarity involved. And he's been going to bed at a decent time too. If you have high blood sugar, you're probably going to have bouts of insomnia, and he's had that for the past few years. And past couple weeks, he's been on his insulin and gabapentin. He's been going to bed at a decent hour. So, yay! I mean, he's slowly getting it back together. There are some other issues going on, not medically, but both of his parents passed away at an early age. His dad in his 50s and his mom in her 40s. They both had diabetes, but his dad also had cancer, and that had a lot to do with it too. But they both passed away really young, and that kind of was a wake-up call for him to try to get his health back in order. Put it down, baby. Yeah, put it down. I'm gonna go and make breakfast because I have a little 2-foot little girl tearing up my kitchen. See you guys in a bit. So I have to go to work. We're in work in a few minutes. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot. But today is September 11th. And September 11th, 2001, I was actually out of the country. I was in Belgium, and I remember being really scared because my visitor's visa was about to expire, and I had a ticket to leave that day. I could not come home because they had grounded all the flights, and I was gonna fly from Brussels International to JFK International Airport, and they had grounded everything. I remember watching the news. It was about 2 o'clock because there's like a 6-hour difference, but I remember seeing it on the news, and I remember packing because I had to leave that day. I was going home, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna make it home now. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Come to find out, if this ever happens, if you're ever stranded in a country and there's a terrorist attack and they ground all the flights, you go to your nearest American consulate and they will extend your visa. That's what happened. I got my visa extended for 2 weeks, and I left like 2 weeks later. But I could not make it home that day, and I was so frightened and so scared. We went to the airport anyways, because the airport was open even though they grounded all the flights. We went to the airport in Brussels, and they said, there's no way you're going, there's no way you're flying, all the flights are grounded, you can't make it home. American Airlines is pretty much down. They're done for because of the attacks in New York. And I didn't know what to do. I was young and dumb and naive. I was maybe about 19 or 20 at the time, and I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to get home. And I remember being really worried. Like, I really didn't understand the full extent of all the attacks and all the damage, and I was just worried about, me getting home. But that was like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, because I wanted to get home. I wanted to be with my family and friends, and I couldn't get home. It was so scary, and I don't even remember what I did for those 2 weeks I was grounded. It was just a blur. But I remember I did make it home, and I never wanted to leave again. So I stayed home. I didn't go back. Yeah. It's been 15 years now. It's been a long time. And now my kids are starting to learn about it in school, and they're asking questions. And it's kind of like how some of our parents and grandparents grew up with all of the world wars. and we're taught about it in history class, but we have relatives, you know, who are part of it and saw it firsthand. That's what's going on with September 11th. All the kids are starting to learn about it in schools, and they're asking questions. But we were like the frontliners. We were there. We saw it. I mean, we weren't physically there, but some of us, we weren't physically there, but we saw it on the news, and we kind of have an understanding of what happened. I have to get my butt into work. I have a long shift ahead. Whew. I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's going on 8 o'clock. The kids are getting their baths, and it'll be time for bed soon. All that's been on TV tonight has been news stories and interviews from people surrounding the whole 9/11 terrorist attack. And I have to say, I've always had a deep respect for first responders, for firefighters, EMTs, nurses, doctors. That's been my whole life. I have many members of my family who were in the fire department, many members of my family who were in the medical field some way, shape, or form. And to put people's lives before your own every single day, you have to show some sort of level of respect for that. And these people that they were interviewing, it's really terrifying. It's really saddening and terrifying, because you just don't understand some of the horrors they witnessed that day. I mean, we all saw it on our TVs and on our radios, but to see it firsthand is unimaginable. I mean, people jumping out of windows. I mean, you having to make the choice in between burning to death or jumping out a window and meeting your fate from like the 42nd floor of the World Trade Center. That's horrifying. I mean, I'm not sure if I could be able to make that choice or not. But it also just goes to show you how resilient our human race is as a species. We're resilient. I mean, we fall down and we get right back up. It's how we're designed. It's how we're encoded. No matter what goes on, we make sure our life continues to carry on somehow. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight, and I will see you guys later. Bye.